my channel. My name is Danica and I'm the Fit Mom Lifestyle on Instagram, Like to Know It, and TikTok. And today we're going to be doing my current makeup routine, and most of these items are in the Sephora sale, so I will have everything listed and linked down below so you can shop the items. This is like my go-to makeup look right now. I'm loving it. It's pretty easy, although this video is kind of long. I am a chatty person. I talk a lot. So the sale is live today for everyone. Today should be April 7th. I'm actually recording this the day before, April 6th. So as long as I can get everything together, this will be up tomorrow, and the sale is live for everyone. So anyone can shop. If you don't have a VIB account or a beauty account, you can just sign up and then you can get 10% off all of these items. And the Sephora items are 30% off for everyone. And I do have a couple Sephora items in this, it's not a haul, in this makeup look. So anyway, I know a lot of you requested this. This is kind of like the finished look, and I give you like a closer look at the end. But if you want to see my current makeup routine, then just keep watching. All right, so let's get started. I have all of my stuff laid out here, and I'm gonna start with the Dr. Jart Tiger Grass Color Correcting Treatment. So this is the new one that I just got in the sale, and then this is the small one that I had. This small one is really great though, and I just want to show you, like, I've been kind of scraping it out because I was really waiting for the sale to start. And actually what's really cool is this larger version came with this little spoon thing, so I actually might be able to scoop some more out of this little guy. Oh yeah, for sure. Okay, there's enough for like one more application. So a lot of you really wanted to see how this worked on me because I shared it in my haul. So put the spoon here. So here's what it looks like. It literally comes out green, and then I just like kind of rub it into my hands and then put it on my face like a sunscreen. So once I put this on and let it sit for a minute, I'll tell you like about my skincare and stuff that I did before, but I wanted to give this a minute to sit. So we'll just do this. I was gonna film this in my bathroom, but I honestly like didn't know how I was gonna set it up and everything, so I was like, oh, let's just use our regular setup. And I'm gonna look in the viewfinder a bit because I don't have a mirror. So I do have a mirror over here, but I'm far away from it. So you can kind of see, like, obviously right now it just makes me look very pale because it's green, but I think you can tell it's like starting to change color. And I put it everywhere. Like, I put it under my eyes, obviously very gently, but I am kind of rubbing it. Put it on my eyelids. And like, there are some days where I'm just doing no makeup and I just put this on and it smooths out my skin. I will say sometimes, because it makes you look so matte, or like not so matte, but like all one color, it can make you look like not pale, but like you just have no dimension to your face, you know, because it's all one color. So I'm really rubbing it in a lot just because I put a lot on, so I wanted to demonstrate for you. But I really like it. I really think it works well. So just literally putting that all on like I would a moisturizer or a sunscreen, and I'm trying to get it like kind of like in my ears, not in my ears, but like on my ears, down my neck, and into my hairline, so it really all blends. Okay, I have a little wipe here. So we'll let that sit for a minute. You definitely need to let it sit. So while that is kind of like working, we'll give it a minute or two. I wanted to just quickly review the skincare that I use to like prep for my makeup. And these are a lot of things that I talked about too in my previous haul. So if you haven't seen my Sephora VIB sale haul, I will have that linked in the cards and below, so you can check that out. But I did haul a lot of these products, and a lot of the products are repurchases, which I'm sharing today because they were out of stock. So let's talk about like daytime skincare, morning skincare. So I get out of the shower, fresh face. The first thing I put on is this Firma C vitamin C skincare from Drunk Elephant, and I I have my bag here. Let's see. I don't know where it is, but I did buy the Summer Fridays CC serum, so I'll have that one linked down below. That's gonna replace this when it's out. This is almost out. And then after I put that on, I will put on, right now I'm using the ginseng, just because this is what I have. It's Origins. I got this like at Christmas time in a set, but I will be replacing this with the Belief Aqua Bomb. So I hauled that in my last video. And then I've also just been using this ginseng eye cream. This one is warm, so it's also from not from Drunk Elephant, from Origins, but this one is like a warm tint, so you can kind of see it's like orangey. So I put that one on too. And then I had a little bit of the Laneige on right now, so I did repurchase the Laneige in vanilla, which I shared in that video. So this is the peppermint one that I got in the last sale, and I just wanted to show you, like, there's still some in there, and that's like honestly a decent amount considering like how far it goes. And like I said, I use this every night. My husband uses it a lot and my son uses it a lot, so that really has lasted us really, really well. So that's like my morning skincare. And then in the evening, so I used to use the Drunk Elephant retinol. It's like the pink bottle. I can link that one down below for you too. I just ran out of that and I was gonna repurchase, but I don't know, I'm kind of deciding what retinol I want to use. I also used the Sunday Riley retinol, which was really, really good. I really liked that one, so I'm trying to decide if I want to repurchase that or like buy something totally new. So I would normally put that on in the evening, and then I would mix whatever moisturizer I am using. So I'm switching to the Drunk Elephant Protini moisturizer, which I hauled as well. I'm looking over there because my bags are over there. But for right now, I'm just using the Origins Ginseng, which this is like a gel moisturizer, so it is very light. So normally I would want something a little bit more creamy for evening, but like I said, I was out, so this is what I've been using. I just want to be completely honest and tell you what I've been using right now. And then I just mix in this Summer Fridays Heavenly 16 all-in-one face oil. So I'll put in like maybe like 3-ish drops of this. Before this, I was using the Drunk Elephant Marula oil, which I also hauled in the last sale, but I ran out of that, and so I've been using the Summer Fridays one. And then I also want to tell you that I do have like self tanner on, so I used this last night. These are the Isle of Paradise drops. I did repurchase these because I love them. You can kind of see there's still like half the bottle in there. It's hard to, it's like not wanting to focus, but I do have still like a decent amount in here, but I use this like all the time in the summer. So I put like 3 to 5 drops in my hand and then mix it with my moisturizer if I want to have a tan. So I did that last night. Okay, so you can kind of see it has definitely started to set in. It will definitely set more over time. I can't quite tell if everything's mixed in well, so sorry if it doesn't look great, but anyway, it is pretty much good to go. And like I said, it'll continue to like warm up. It's really cool, but you could just kind of see like it just evened everything out. And then I'm using the Tula Skincare Rose Glow and Get It. So I think that Sephora just started carrying Tula. Why is this not focusing? So anyway, I like this a lot. I think it gives a really pretty glow. So I'll just put it under my eyes and then down the, I mean, look at that. You can see how glowy it looks. And then down the bridge of my nose. And then I just kind of pat it. I used to do like more of a full coverage, you know, skincare or makeup look where I would put like foundation and like concealer and all this stuff. But honestly, as a mom, I hate to say I don't have time for it because I don't make time for it. It's just not a priority for me anymore. So I just like these steps because it's really, really simple. So I would usually like let that also sit for a second. So you can already see like my skin is looking pretty good, like all one color, and already starting to look glowy. So I have like a good base right now. I'm looking in the other mirror. I can't tell if everything is totally blended in, but it's fine. So then after that, this is kind of what I was talking about in my haul. this is when I just start going in. Like, I treat that as though that's like my concealer and foundation because it's got a good base, and also it's like, now I just need to set it. So I'll put on some makeup to kind of like set it. So I have the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Finish powder in Fair. So this is the one that I have that I am almost out of, which is why I bought a new one. And then I'm using the Morphe R10. I don't know if these brushes are still available. I actually bought these like years ago. Jaclyn Hill had like this, her, what is it called, like a box of brushes, like her top 20 brushes, and I remember I bought it like maybe 3 years ago, and it was such a splurge for me at the time, but I just like wanted Jaclyn Hill's brushes so bad, and so that's kind of what I've had and just used. Obviously during the pandemic I didn't do my makeup very much, so I didn't really use a lot of my stuff for honestly like a couple of years. So as you can kind of tell, I'm actually doing more than I normally would because I'm talking, but I would normally just take it and kind of pat, and then kind of like brush it off and kind of just put it on my eyelids. So again, you know, I hate when people say that they're not a makeup artist and like, I don't really know what I'm doing. That is like a pet peeve of mine because, okay, sure, you're not a makeup artist. Like, don't paint yourself out to be an expert, but you know your face better than anybody else. So I just don't like that, like, we all discredit ourselves. Like, you know what you're doing, like, you know what you like, so you do you, you know? Anyway, this is the Hourglass ambient lighting palette that I was talking about that I ran out of. So I bought this one in the last sale, and here's what it looks like. I just feel like it's probably helpful for you guys to see, like, not that I need to prove that I use these products, but like, they're very well loved. So this is the one that I just bought, the ambient lighting powder, ambient lighting powder in Radiant Light. So this is my new one. So this is what this one looks like. So brand new. So I'm gonna use this Morphe E41. So like I said, these brushes, I don't know that they're available. So I probably won't link them, but I'll link all the products. And then I kind of just like tap it, and then like you saw, I kind of just put it on. Sometimes, like if my skin's really dewy, I'll pat it in the T-zone and like around my nose, and then kind of like brush it around as well. I don't always have like a rhyme or reason to how or why I do things, to be totally honest. I just do what like feels good for that day. Next thing is the Airbrush bronzer from Charlotte Tilbury. I didn't realize how many Charlotte Tilbury products I used until I started like doing these kinds of videos. There's a hair on my nose. This is in number 2 medium. So I bought this one in the last sale and have been using it ever since, and there's still like a pretty decent amount. So this thing lasts. It is expensive, but it lasts a long time. My hair is like really annoying me. So I got this fan brush. It's so cool, in a BoxyCharm. Back when I did my channel in like 2017, I used to subscribe to BoxyCharm, and this was a brush that I got, and I like absolutely love it. So I'm trying to just blend my bronzer in to my hairline. And I kind of take it down my forehead just a little. And then I'm going to go here. And I kind of go heavy with the bronzer, so I'm going to put on a lot. I go heavy, and yet like there's still so much. I also try and like kind of go a little bit above my natural jawline, or not jawline, cheekbone, to kind of like lift, and then I kind of just like carry it up. And then we'll do the same on the other side. It's always hard because like I don't have my regular mirror in front of me, so I'm doing the best I can with this. But you can see how much that like just warms up the face. And then I'll take a little bit down my neck here, and then I'll just dust a little on my nose. I'm not going to put this away because I'm going to use this for eyeshadow, which I've been using lately. So if I want more of a full, not a full coverage, but like if I want some color or something on the lid, I'll use this. I think it's still called Eyes to Mesmerize. This is a Charlotte Tilbury product. And this one was in the color Jean, which is an older one. It is now called Champagne, I think, so I'll link it below, but they just renamed them. I love this. I think it's so beautiful. I can actually put it on the back of my hand if you want to see. If I want like a shimmer, I will do this. I did my sister's makeup for prom last weekend, and I used this as a base, and then I set it with a Natasha Denona palette, or shadow. You can kind of see. It's like so beautiful. It just like catches the light so nicely. It's literally one of my favorite shadows. You can actually see in most of my videos, I'm wearing that shadow. So I'm not going to do that today because I just don't really feel like putting on eyeshadow. So I'm just going to take my bronzer and I just like swirl it around in there, and I'm just going to, I grabbed the wrong brush, but this is the right one. This is the Morphe M540. I accidentally grabbed my highlighting brush, so that was a mistake. And I'll just like put it in the crease, and you can just kind of see how it defines the lid. I'm really just going for like a natural bronzy look, and then I'm going to take this. This is a Morphe E18. Just take a little and tap off the excess and just run this along my lash line. So you can kind of see how like the bronziness is starting to set in. This video is going to be so long because I'm so chatty. So if you're enjoying it, give it a thumbs up for me, please. Next product is the Charlotte Tilbury Film Star Bronze and Glow Face and Sculpt Palette. This is the fair medium. I broke this, obviously, and so there's no bronzer, but I love this highlight shade and I use it all the time. So I will just take that, and I like to do my highlight before my blush because then I feel like it blends better, and the blush blends, oh my gosh, the highlight, it's hard to say that fast. The blush blends the highlight and the bronzer really well. Whereas sometimes I feel like if I do like bronzer, blush, highlight, it looks like it doesn't always look very like seamless, if that makes any sense. So I like to do my blush last. And then I also kind of just, as you can see, take this up towards the brow bone so that it gets like a little like highlight above or below my brow. I can't talk, and there's like an annoying brush hair around my nose that is really driving me crazy. Okay, so that's highlight. Then I'm going to take my Morphe M530, and this is a newer purchase. This is the Patrick Ta blush palette. I have not used the cream yet, but I've only used the powder, which is this one. This is the cream. It's got like a little cover on it, so you could see. That's kind of cool. But this is called She's That Girl, and I had seen this a lot on like YouTube, and I think it was on TikTok and Instagram, so I just really wanted to try it. And I went into my store, my Sephora, and they happened to have it in stock one day, so I was like, oh yes, I'm getting that. I really like it a lot. And I put a little, obviously I like to focus on like mid to like the back of my cheekbones, because I used to put it like right here and it would just look like, make me look like a little doll, and I just don't like that as much. So I kind of blend it back here and then put a little on my nose. I do this like silly smile that my husband makes fun of me for. Okay, so that's basically my face done. And then let's see, next we're gonna do my, what is this called, eyebrows. So right now I've been using the Anastasia Brow Wiz in medium brown, but literally like this thing has been falling out. My watch is going off. It's been falling out, like it might have just fallen out. No, there's like the teeniest bit left. So anyway, I've been trying to save this until I got my new one, which I obviously bought. So here's the new one. This is the Brow Definer. I got the triangle brow pencil and I got medium brown again. I've never used this one, but you could tell like the last one was a very fine tip and this one is triangular and a little bit bigger, so you can see it there. Let's see. I need something with a good mirror. So I'm not good at doing my brows. This is one thing I literally struggle with so hard, and I'm like, I can't even talk while I do this, but I haven't tried this product obviously, but I like to look in a closer mirror. Oh, this is actually kind of cool. I like the edge of this. I like to look at a mirror that's close, like the one in my hand, and then one further away. So like I'm looking at one kind of like off to the side, because when I'm doing my brows, I like to see like close-up detail, and then I like to see how it looks from a distance, if that makes sense. So like, actually that was really easy. I've been using the smaller one, so it takes a lot longer to fill it in. That was actually really easy. Oh my gosh. I like this a lot. So I kind of like, I mean, you can see, I'm just trying to shape it out a little. And so there's one brow done and the other one not done. So this one is my harder brow, always. In college, I had alopecia and I lost, I think I've shared this story on here before. I lost one of my eyebrows and then I had to get steroid shots to make it grow back, which it did, thankfully. But now my eyebrows are like totally different shapes, which I really don't care, but it's just funny because like when I try and fill them in, this one is like way harder for me to do because the shape is just harder to make out, I guess. Okay, so the one thing I'll say with this pencil as opposed to the other one, I feel like it's easier to go overboard because it's like a thicker pencil, but I feel like that actually looks pretty good, and it was really fast. But I'm going with such a light hand. It's the medium brown color. I could probably honestly do soft brown, was like the lighter color, so I like that though. That was really easy. I'm all about like fast makeup because I usually have a screaming toddler like, "Mommy, I'm hungry," while I'm getting ready. So just combing through those. I actually really like how that turned out. And then if I wanted to set my brows, which I'm not gonna do today, but like where did it go? Oh, here it is. I like the Anastasia Clear Brow Gel. This is like hairspray for your brows. This is really good if you want that, like, you know how it's like very trendy to have that like look that's like boom, like stuck to you, and like this is a good one for that. I did get the Benefit Brow Gel. It's actually right here. Oh no, that's not. I don't know where it is. I did get the Benefit Brow Gel though, to use because if I didn't want to fill in my eyebrows at all, I would just do that. So anyway, if I were doing like this and this, it's a good combo to have them like standing up, and then if not, I would just use that one. Now this is like my favorite part. I love the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Setting Spray. I really didn't realize how much Charlotte Tilbury I have. So I kind of like go heavy-handed with this, especially like if I'm doing my makeup for all day, because I do my makeup around like between like 7:30 and 8, and I don't get home till like usually 8, so I need it to last for like 12 hours. So I'm just gonna spray a little bit right now, but like I go kind of crazy with this. So I'd probably do like a couple more sprays if I were going to work, and then I try not to talk to let it like sit, but you know, we're recording, so we're gonna talk now. It's so funny because I talked to my sister. My sister is 12 years younger than me, and I used to show her that I would do this, and she's like, ew, that's so gross. And now I was helping her get ready for prom this past weekend, and she was like, oh yeah, I do that too. And I'm like, see, it works. So this is the Shiseido eyelash curler. I love this. I love eyelashes. Oh my gosh, my camera is like stopping. Okay, sorry about that. I guess my camera was just like such a long clip, it needed to stop. So anyway, this is the Shiseido eyelash curler, and this is my favorite eyelash curler. I use like Revlon ones and like other drugstore ones for years, but this one is such a game changer. It's like $20, so I know it is pricey, but I've had this one for like probably 3 years at least. I love it. So my trick is I just put it in my bra to warm it up. Sometimes I'll put it in like my waistband. So sorry if you think that's gross. I knew girls in college who would like blow dry it to warm it up. I just use my body heat, so like it's just sitting against my skin in my bra. So sorry if that's gross to you, but it works, and I've been doing this trick for years and I love it. So while that kind of is like sitting in there, I'm gonna put on, this is the Charlotte Tilbury eyeliner. I should like be sponsored by Charlotte Tilbury. I mean, come on. This is the Hollywood Exaggerize liner, dual liner. So obviously you've got the black on one side. Come on, focus. Okay, well, you get the idea. And then the other side is like this, what is this called? Metallic. I don't know if it has a color. Let me swatch it for you. It is so pretty, but it's very light and I really don't use it. Let me just see if it'll focus. No. So this is what it looks like on the back of my hand. So very pretty, but I don't really use it very much, to be totally honest. I just use the black side. So let's put a little bit of this on right now. And I just line my waterline. I did buy the Sephora collection eyeliner in like matte brown, wow, and then I messed that up because I was talking. Matte brown black, or black brown. And sorry if I'm slouching, I'm like sitting on the ground, but anyway, I did buy that one, and I'll use it when this one's out. So this video is gonna be so long. If you're still watching, comment down below. I hope you're enjoying this, because I know a lot of you wanted to see this, but I knew it was gonna be a long one, which is why I wasn't sure if you cared to watch, but anyway. Okay. I'm like trying not to poke my eye because I'm not really concentrating. Okay, so that's kind of what that looks like. Then what's next? Then I'm going to, let's take this out. Okay, I'm gonna hold up my mirror. I would normally obviously be doing this in the bathroom, and then I'm gonna curl my lashes, and okay, then I'm going to take the Lancome CILS booster. This is like literally a game changer. I have been using this for years and I can't do my mascara without it. Like, I literally love this stuff, and I have like 3 backups. I mean, that's how crazy I am about it. I really like it. So I'll put this on and let it sit for like 30 seconds or so. Usually at this point I'm like putting on my earrings or finishing like getting dressed if I was getting ready in my robe. So that's what I would normally be doing right now while this sits. While it sits, I'm gonna put on some lip liner. So for every day, I like the Sephora cream lip stains a lot, but I also really like to just put on a liner and a gloss on top. So I'm gonna use the Sephora No. 4 Creme de la Creme today, but some of my other favorites are MAC Whirl, MAC Boldly Bare, and Spice. I'll swatch these for you. So this one is, we've got Whirl first, and then we've got, we'll do Spice next. They kind of look similar. And then Boldly Bare. They're all kind of similar, honestly. So we've got Whirl, Spice, and Boldly Bare. And those are just some of my favorite colors. And then I'll just show you too. This one is the Sephora. This one is really creamy. Okay, these are like all the same color. This is the Sephora one at the bottom here. And this one you can kind of tell it's just like creamier. I think you can kind of see it there. Yeah, I have all the same colors. Okay, so actually I'm gonna go in with my first layer of mascara. I'm a little crazy when it comes to mascara. This is the It Cosmetics Superhero Mascara. I use like 3 mascaras. I know, I'm like weird. But I'll put 1 layer, so it's already kind of like dry, which I like because it gives me a good like starting point for these lashes. So they're like primed and ready to go. So I'll put like 1 coat of this and kind of just wiggle it through. Trying not to talk because, not talk, but I gotta be careful. That's when I mess up, whenever I'm talking. So, this is 1 coat, and I feel like this is such a good mascara. Like, I don't hear a lot of people talk about it, and I love it. It's been one of my favorites for a long time. So I'll do that, and then let's do the lip liner while we wait for that. We're almost done. Normally this takes me like 15 minutes, but obviously when I'm talking, it's taking me like 3 times as long. Okay, so I have on, let's use this. I obviously have on the Laneige. So, we'll put this on. Let's see. I'm like struggling because I don't have my regular mirror. These are so creamy. Remember that the Sephora stuff is all 30% off too. So I highly recommend trying these out. Okay, so that's just like my lips outlined. And then we'll fill it in a little. I'm still learning how to do lip liner, so I'm sure there's a better way to do it, but I do really like the look. Oh my gosh, is this one almost out? No, it's just stuck. I kind of just go over any spots. There you go, you can kind of see, get a closer look at how we're looking. Very glowy, but it will last all day, and I'm oily, and sometimes I'll pat my face because like obviously some days I'm oilier than others, but this really does last. So now we're gonna go in with Monsieur Big by Lancome. I think of all the steps you could skip this second mascara, but I just do really like this one. I feel like the It Cosmetics kind of like lengthens, and then this one I think kind of makes it a little bit more full. So I kind of like let it obviously dry a little bit and then layer on this. And I just like, I love lashes, so I like that more dramatic lashes, bronzer, and lip gloss, and I'm good to go. Comment down below, like, what is your must-have product? Like, you could walk out the door and feel confident if you had blah 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 on. Like for me, if my mascara is done, like I'm good to go. I'm a happy girl. So then I've got the Tower 28. I think it's called like the lip jelly. Yeah, lip jelly. This one's in Chill. I also got this one in the last Sephora sale. I have so many lip glosses, so like this is just one of the ones I use. I don't like to put the wand directly on my lips because I don't want to get like the lip liner in it. So I just put some on the tip of my finger, and I'll just grab a little bit just so that it doesn't like mess up the actual tube, and just kind of like pat it in. I want you guys to be able to see because I know it's kind of hard with like the camera. So this is how, with the camera obviously. Okay. And then last thing is the bottom mascara. So this is what I had said like Maybelline. I don't know what I was talking about in the last one, but this is the L'Oreal Telescopic. This is the Carbon Black. I also bought the Clinique Bottom Lash Mascara, which I will be trying, but I really like this one. This is like super affordable. It's from the drugstore. So I just put this on my bottom lashes. I love this wand. Of course it's like clumpy now because I'm on camera, but it's usually not. It's perfect for doing your bottom lashes. And then, sorry, I can't talk. Of course it's like a little clumpy right now, but usually it's not. And then I like to kind of take it and just run through the tips. Can you see that okay? The tips of my lashes and like out here, just to like lengthen even more. Like I said, mascara is the one thing that I'm a little picky about. And then if, obviously I'm sure you all know this trick, but if you get any mascara anywhere else, you just let it dry, take a Q-tip and wipe it off. So that is everything. Let me kind of like, I don't think I forgot anything. Let me kind of get up close so you can see. Sorry, this is kind of like right in your face, but this is what my everyday makeup routine looks like. Like I said, it usually just takes me like 10-15 minutes. So sorry if there's mascara on my eyelids, but this is it. So I hope you guys like this. If you did, make sure to give this video a thumbs up. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button and hit the notification bell so you're notified whenever I come out with any new videos. And thank you so much for watching. I know this was a long one, but I hope this was helpful. You got to see my everyday makeup routine, and I think it turned out pretty good considering I didn't have a good mirror. So anyway, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video.